Okay, now that previous session is uploading, well, it's already uploaded, it's processing, and it's doing all the things it needs to do. I'm going to go ahead and get started here again and decide where we're going to go after this. And I believe we're going to go... let's go ahead and try and do door 6.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. Who had written it after?
That's a problem.
June spoke barely above a whisper, but they all knew what he'd said.
None of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
Junpei crossed his arms and did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually Clover broke the silence.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
7 and Lotus, that would be 15 plus 4 is 19. 19 is 10. 10 is 1. Her face was cold and flat and was as was her voice, but her logic was sound. 7 and Lotus looked at each other. First problem was resolved. Ace spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so...
I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
Alright. 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1, 15. Yeah, 1 plus 5 equals 6.
7. Lotus, what do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
See you later.
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own!
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Yeah, be careful.
We should get going as well.
So no one's gone through the number 2 door. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck where door 1 was near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one.
This is E deck.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
Alright, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them to action. They stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6.
There it is. You guys ready? Yeah. Then let's get to it.
One by one, they put their palms over the red. The soft electronic noise, it authenticated each one of them. The door opened, and all at once, the 4 of them looked through it.
Hey! I found it! It's right there!
Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they'd entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one.
It stopped.
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat.
I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
Who would, man? That
I'm
is
not sure it's
disconcerting.
something I'd want to get used to.
I agree.
We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Absolutely, because that would change a lot of things.
You got that right. Once I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
I agree.
I agree, you're taking a nice long vacation. That the doom and gloom from before was done, and the mood turned somewhat lighter.
All right, let's go.
With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs and at the end of the hallway found himself staring at a door. Large
This
door.
door looks heavy.
But it's not locked. I'm opening it.
He took hold of the bar that served as a doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal, none of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
Senta got out a few words before awe stole the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than
This has
gasps.
to be the biggest room so far. The ceiling is pretty high, too.
Huh. Could be 2 stories. Maybe even more.
Maybe.
This space could be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
Kamaboko. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I have no idea what a Kamaboko is. According to Wikipedia, kamaboko is a type of cured surimi, a processed seafood product common in Japanese cuisine. It is essentially like a half cylinder. Man, she is really Japanese. June pointed to the massive building in the center.
Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any.
Junpei and the others were standing on the scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly
I see
important.
stairs, so we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide enough to fit 1 person.
You're right.
Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side, too.
They moved around toward the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked, but they approached the building. Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine room?
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. You see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
Makes
I
sense.
see.
It doesn't appear to be running right now.
The entire room is silent as the grave.
Alright, let's split up.
When all of a sudden Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees.
Hey, what's wrong? Are you alright?
He dashed toward her and wrapped his arm around her shoulders to steady her.
Hey, June.
It was then that he noticed.
Junpei,
You... Oh, you're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
yes. Yes. It probably is.
But
But I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me. I just need to rest. And I'll be fine.
her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
Okay, here, sit down. Careful.
Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall as if she no longer had the strength to support it, and drew a ragged breath.
Thank you.
Her eyes were empty, as if she were having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clench tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Right.
They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern.
Let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
She managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Alright, seek a way out. Okay, this is a really weird map. I'm having a hard time processing it because I'm pretty sure this is more of a three-dimensional kind of room. Alright. Square hole, nothing in here. Yeah, look at the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots, terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps? You think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. Alright, hey. Look at that button. It's glowing orange, right? It's gotta mean something. So pressing it is the best way to find out if it does anything, Santa. Nothing. So this is probably here to move coal from place to place. Light comes from over there, and then the belt carries it down the tunnel and out here. So if the conveyor belt was moving, yeah, the coal would almost certainly come out of here. Tunnel goes all the way across the ship. Pillar to the ceiling. Alright, let's see what's over here. This gear's rusty, but it looks like it's still pretty sturdy. Golden gear? Doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well then I imagine it was prepared especially for this game. That's good. Looks like there's a door over here in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver the coal, which is then picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. Alright, let's see. Huge oven for this boiler. Let's go up. Oh hey, what's this? These sliders on the left and down, but this one is up. There are a number of lines engraved in these. It's because we were meant to do something rather specific with them. Why don't you move that slider down? There's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. It needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that is one way of putting it. Slider's down. Looks like Santa wants to give this one a shot. Damn it, nothing. This thing won't budge. No dice. Slider's down. I guess Ace should feel nothing. Alright. They're red. Alright. We're gonna get with that pile of boxes there. What the hell's in these things anyway? Way too heavy to move. There's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give this sucker a twist. Well, it's noisy, but it opens, and it's totally pitch black in there. Should go in there. Alright, let's go. Looks like it's just the door we went into. Where are we? Must be on the other side, yes. Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt. At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we have yet to investigate. Anyway, looks like that's the pipe. Looks like there's a bottom connects to the conveyor belt housing. Coal must come out of this pipe and onto the conveyor belt. In other words, there must be a great deal of coal in that pipe. The catwalk. A number of boxes on the catwalk. Don't think we can go over there. Oh hey. So just back down, should be on the other side of these boxes. An excellent memory. Use that to draw a map inside your head. Oh, you won't get lost. Okay, thanks. That's a hand-operated winch. It's a simple machine used to lift things up and down. Simply turn the wheel to pull up the rope. Why don't you turn the wheel? The wheel? Let's get this wheel to spin. What? That's weird. Feeling any resistance. Yeah, shit. Well, I have a wheel. Good job, genius. You broke it. I didn't break it. It broke all by itself. An operated winch. The wheel it once had is now in my hand. So we can get back on. There's a couple of posts on the back that look like they fit into holes on the winch. Damn, no good. These little shafts are too small for this big hole. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, to be honest. If that's the case, then this wheel wasn't originally part of this winch. And that means, well, something else is going on. A whole bunch of boxes blocking the way here. Catwalk. Yeah, we already did the machine. Alright, let's can't get through. I guess go through C. Hey, more boxes. Middle ribs of the ship. I think June's resting underneath it. Little wooden box on the catwalk. This wooden box on the end of the rope hanging from the winch. So there's something in the box. Yeah, let me guess. We put this in here. An operated winch. There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah, I've got the wheel I pulled off the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. Sweet, it's a perfect fit. Like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. You should be able to haul up the wooden box now. See, the wooden box, it's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope on the winch, isn't it? Looks like there's some sort of device in the box. Not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. Counting on you. I'll turn the wheel. What's this? This wheel only turns to the left. When it turns to the left, means you can't reel up that rope. Yeah, you can let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. We'll simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. You're letting me down, guys. Sure thing, no sweat. Alright, that's all the way down.
Box has reached the floor.
Yeah.
Stick his head out over the side of the catwalk and look down. The box that only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt.
Over by there.
Junpei could see her, still leaning against the wall as if she barely had the strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was not difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought that he could see heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Yes, his expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they had all been thinking.
Of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was
What
true.
could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion.
His response was confident and
She
concerned.
gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual.
I mean, Santa's got a point.
How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in
Guinea pig.
disgust.
You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility.
He stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him.
You know, speaking of experiments,
Santa suddenly stopped.
there was this experiment some scientists did with rats.
Oh boy, here we go. Some philosophy.
First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it. The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B.
Oh good.
Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
There's a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded.
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
That's true.
Right? It isn't very interesting. Yet. See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one. These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy?
Jungian shared
They were
subconsciousness.
passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at
How
him.
the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic
Hey,
alone.
wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Santa stopped and turned
Why
around.
did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
Santa gave a grim bark of a laugh.
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that?
Huh?
Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Core thesis of game.
Oh.
Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Alright. We did that. Boom. The only thing in here is a closed number door. Kind of let's go back, huh? Yeah, sure is. Alright, well, that's not where I'm supposed to go. Alright. There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Okay, it's some kind of snowman secret meeting. Just bags full of sand. You use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Gear's rusted, but it looks like it's still pretty sturdy. Silver gear. Do you think it's made of pure silver? No way. Silver's way too soft to use for a gear. It's gotta be a steel or iron gear that's been coated with silver. Okay. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have gotten your hopes up. You think you'd haul this thing back? Nah, but I think 7 could probably carry it, don't you? Conveyor belt runs into a sort of arched tunnel. Alright. What is this? Given its placement, you must unlock the door to the left. Written indentation on top of this thing. I think that might insert something here. Yes, I would imagine so. Handrail. It's a thick iron door blocking our way. You think this is? Yes, it looks like the exit. Looks like this door slides up into the ceiling. Alright, well, hey, we're not done yet. We're all empty. It's so important. Those stairs, look at them carefully. That gap, that height, that angle. It's perfect. Perfect? Perfect for what? Whatever, just bring Clover here right now. Tell her she needs to walk him down these stairs. Huh? Clover's not here. What the hell is he talking about? Man, I don't know. Alright, it's pretty sturdy. Control panel for something. Oh hey, there's 3 connectors on the back. Boom. Alright, I will be right back in a second. I'm just gonna grab another drink and hit the restroom. Alright. Get my headphone back on. When you're in, crack open the drink. Got a snack, so let's continue. Dude, you did it. Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Push. Sweet, all sort of lights are lighting up on this thing. And, oh, yes, I think I just heard something turn on. What's that? A conveyor belt's moving. Conveyor belt? I guess it's done moving now. Still a bunch of coal on the belt though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Cool. Cool, huh? Box filled with coal. Okay, apparently that's an item you can pick up. Shiny and black coal. It's welded shut, mono open, golden gear. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Oh, hey. Nothing there. It's empty. Damn. No. Yeah. So let's put the coal in the furnace. Maybe we can get some coal in there and set it on fire. Okay, let's do it. Alright, that's lost of it. No coal left in the wooden box. Nothing great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would just throwing coal into a coal furnace do anything? Oh well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. Planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water stored up in there and make steam, which will then drive something else. Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous. So we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well. If the three of us work together, we should be able to manage to fill it much faster. I want to help too, says June. Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that? Yes. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, you look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you better rest some more, alright? But no arguing. You need your rest, so you just stay there. We'll handle this. Okay, I understand. Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal into these furnaces. Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. What makes you think I have matches? I see. And how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh, then? 1 second. Oh hey, they're all lit now. Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Hey Junpei Ace, look at this. There's big gears turning under the boiler there. Hmm? Oh hey, discs. Gears. They're spinning. That was the lower left. Okay. Lower right. All right. We're going up this one, and then in here. If we put those 3 discs we found in this thing, well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Maybe I don't know, putting them in the wrong places? Perhaps you have to have them facing in the wrong direction. Rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one another? Well, no, I'm trying. Instructions for operation. When the disc is pressed, it will rotate a certain amount. When the right arrow is pressed, the discs are switched. Please note, when the discs are switched, the angles of the discs are reset. Okay. I assume we're going to be doing it like this. Yeah. I think maybe I can make a star polygon. A pentagon polygon with these. Oh hey, I found it.
Yes, the door's open.
Alright, let's go. Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. He seemed to share his excitement.
All right, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on the store.
Santa snorted.
Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again.
Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all 3 of us go and collect June then?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs petulantly.
So are you only interested in being contrary?
He sighed, with the air of a long-suffering parent.
Alright, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
Uh-huh. He gave a quick nod to Ace and Santa and dashed off down the stairs. For long, he was back on the first floor next to the conveyor belt and June.
Oh, Junpei.
As he drew close, she stood up slowly.
Are you okay?
He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice.
Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
And a bit blushy. June blushed. I mean, that's obvious from the image. He wasn't sure if she was embarrassed or still feverish.
Let me check.
Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead.
Good. You're feeling a lot better.
She was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him.
Are you sure you're all right?
He had to be sure. June gave him a look.
Oh, you're such a warrior, Junpei.
A warrior or a worrier?
Oops, I mean, warrior.
How about both? June giggled. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she really was feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
All right, let's go.
Bonk.
Go where?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so...
Great! Let's go!
June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on their way they found...
It's...
Santa?
Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand, staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
Santa answered without looking up, and his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
Santa simply nodded.
Kid was cute as a button.
June cocked her head, confused.
She was only about an inch tall then?
Santa glared at her.
Sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
Oh. Santa didn't smile or laugh.
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
He simply turned back to the picture and
I
spoke.
was her Santa Claus.
Wait.
Aw.
What?
The sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know
We
either.
didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids.
Damn.
So I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year. On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say. June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or he didn't care. Santa kept
But one
talking.
year, her letter was different.
Oh, how?
She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time.
Oh, wow.
That was it. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But
What happened?
June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back into his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking them two at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. Looked very tired.
You're finally back.
The door had shut, but it wasn't a cause for
Sorry
concern.
we took so long.
Junpei quickly solved the disc puzzle a second time, and the door opened once again.
Let's go.
In single file, they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through as well. New room stretched out before them.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
Seems like a cargo room.
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
Ooh, 2 rooms back to back. Seek way out. Alright. Alright. Doesn't seem like too big a room. A card with a headshot. Santa's headshot. That's weird. What's that? It's a card. There's a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah. Not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. What about this one? The 9th man. Alright. Crates are smaller than the others. They look like they're children of the crates. Junpei, that sounded like some sort of fairy tale. Really? Oh man, you ever think about how crates would reproduce? Doesn't sound like a fairy tale to me. Damn it, Junpei. These crates are quite large. They seem to be tied to the ones with the sturdy straps. Hey, Clover. Snake. Barrels. June by their weight, perhaps a liquid of some sort? Oh man, liquid is heavy. Hey, 7. June. Junpei. Lid for the crate. Nothing in here. There's some sort of liquid in these barrels. I'm not sure what it is, however. We've searched all the boxes, there's nothing in them. Nothing. This the door leads to the steam engine room. Okay, so this is the door we came in. The crates are stacked up like stairs. Climb up there, I think we can get over the fence. Junpei, think you can take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh, pussy. Okay, fine, I'll go. Please be careful, Santa. Yeah, just in case. Wait, what's he gonna do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at a fence is. Holy shit. It says, oh man, electricity running through that fence. Looks like it. Then we can't go to the other side. Well, we could jump off these crates, but we wouldn't be able to get back. Yeah, you won't be able to get back. Well, if I can move some of these crates over there. Are you sure you can move them? What if they weigh too much? What if you're gonna do? Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Alright, let's... apparently there's a high voltage current running through them. Alright, hey, that's a thing. We haven't looked at this. No, not the thing what I want. Alright. No, the thing I want. Is it Y? Yeah, Y. 7 out of the 9 headshots. It's locked. We need the key. The boxes have numbers on them. Do they? Oh. Spin down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Let me take a look at this. Cards. Alright. We got some number boxes with cards and cards with pictures on all of us. So we need to collect the cards we don't have. We need all 9 cards. Alright, well hey. Nothing in the boxes. What am I missing? Who am I missing? I'm missing Ace. Nothing inside. There we go. All 9. Seriously, I go up 3 stores. What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going. This is the only door here except for the one we just came in through. This is then this. Oh shit, Sherlock, because of course it's locked. Is it an electronic? No, just a keyhole right under the doorknob. So to open this door, we gotta find the key that fits the keyhole. Yeah. Can I continue on up? Oh hey. The 6 holes here. Looks like jacks for headphone cables. Huh. Maybe we put something in them. Yeah, something might happen. Several lights here, numbered 1 through 9. Only the light with the 9 on it is lit. Looks like it's covering something. I think some kind of shutter. Maybe it'll open if we do something. What's gonna come out of it if it does open? Yeah, like I know that. Alright, hey. Maybe power's off. Yeah, maybe there's a green light on the bottom though. That means... Alright, we'll figure it out. There's a metal panel over the outside of the window. Scaffolding. Alright, we got all 9 cards.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards. We just need to insert these cards into the slots at the front of each box.
Junpei stared at the cards in his hands. Ace peered over his shoulder at them.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Junpei gave him a look.
Yeah, of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers, then you pop the corresponding card in the right box. So for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2.
Oh, I see.
Huh? What is it?
Junpei thought he might have imagined it, but he could have sworn Ace stiffened. Just then, Junpei heard a noise. He spun around just in time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
June, are you okay?
She did not respond. Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finished the box thing, alright? Just put the cards in the boxes. I'm counting on you.
He shoved the cards into Ace's hand and ran toward June. This is funny.
Are you alright?
Honestly.
What happened?
Junpei called out to her as he ran.
Can you stand?
As he arrived, June was climbing to her feet and with Santa's help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine.
Are you? Really? Are you?
I just tripped.
Don't
No, you
give me
didn't.
that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
I gotta look it up. Is she the voice actress for Kasumi from Persona 5 Royal? I gotta check. Excuse me. Gonna kiss the hiccups. Oh boy. Huh. Nah, she's Kanami Mishita from Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Okay, that's interesting. Or at least I find that interesting. Okay, she does not have very many roles. In fact, aside from this game, Persona 4 Dancing All Night as Kanami Mishita is the only role I know hers.
Just let me see for a sec.
Junpei put his palm over her forehead.
You're still warm.
The temperature was much the same as it had been last time I checked. She wasn't hot like she'd been before, but she was still warm. Her fever wasn't completely
I
gone.
saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know?
Junpei would have been more willing to agree if June hadn't needed quite so much help standing up.
Still, to fall down like that, I think she's probably still a little messed up.
June was doing her best to busy herself brushing dust off her dress. And blushing. Her smile looked a little embarrassed, and her face was a bit flushed. But she did look great, a great deal better than she had. Still.
Alright, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Medicine. Medicine, huh? Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ace? Why?
Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company.
Really? That is some interesting info.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think. Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil. That doesn't sound...
Soparil. I've heard of that before somewhere.
Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard about Soparil before. Santa continued.
Soparil. It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature. A lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces.
That in and of itself is pretty
It
concerning.
was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer.
Like I said,
It
concerning.
was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug.
Humane
It's
nature.
been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots. It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals' stock did too.
Why do you know all of this?
Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Santa's reply was blunt and
I
simple.
heard it from the old man himself,
From Ace? When?
by the number 4 door at the central stairway, when we were searching the second-class room. Remember how Snake, Seven, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
As he spoke, Junpei looked over toward Ace. He seems to be having difficulty with the 9 boxes.
What is he doing?
Turn back to June and Santa.
June, don't push yourself, alright?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
What are you doing?
Ace's back was to him as Junpei approached. The older man turned around to look at him. His face was pale and covered in
What
sweat.
happened?
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures.
Ace held out the cards to Junpei, splayed out in the shape of a fan.
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia.
Presbyopia, the vocabulary word for this session.
Growing old is a difficult thing.
He made the best attempt he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed and his lips were pale and drawn.
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. Junpei looked at him quizzically.
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out?
Junpei looked down at the cards in his hands. All the pictures were quite clear and each person was easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so bad?
But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
I wonder. That was when Junpei remembered what he'd heard from Lotus much earlier.
Prosopagnosia. Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how that means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia?
Junpei took another look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs looking quite depressed.
Well, he looks depressed enough to have it.
Depressed enough to have purpose because... okay. If he really did have prosopagnosia, there was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything would be alright would help that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best to keep Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being. Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2. I just need to do the same for the rest.
Yep.
And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
All 9 box lids opened at once.
Oh, they opened!
He peered inside. Each box was a single pin.
9 pins?
They looked a little like sewing pins, but much thicker.
I guess I'll take them with me.
Junpei collected all of them and quickly shoved them into his pocket. 9 pins. Whee! Alright. Assume we're going upstairs with these. There's 6 holes here. It looks like the pins I found just would be perfect. Pins you found in the 9 boxes, right? Well, why don't you try it? Alright, let's see what happens. I think 1, 2, 4, and 6 you get here on the top part, and then 3, 5, 7 on the bottom part. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. I wonder if there's some kind of rule that determines which lights go on and on. Well, I put the 2, 4, 6 pins on the top part and the 3, 5, 7 on the bottom. 12, that would be 3. You think maybe it's the digital root? Yeah, I think it's the digital root. 2 plus 6 plus 12 equals 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12. The digital root of 12 is 3. Therefore, 3 light turns on. 3 plus 5 plus 7 equals 15, therefore 6. Makes sense, right? Yeah. Let's see. The lights are then match the digital root of the pins inserted on the top, and the lower parts will light up. That's how it works. Well, there's one thing I'd like to check. Well, if he wants to try, he's certainly welcome to. So, he put in the 1, 2, and 3 pins on the top, and the 6 and 7 pins on the bottom, and the 6, 7, and 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. They turned off. Yep. Oh, I get it now. The digital root for the pins you insert is the same as the number on the lights that are lit. Those lights turn off. So it looks like that's the trick. Alright, now we know how it works. You want to give it a try? Wait, you mean you know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Well, no, but I figured we could try and see if we can turn them all on, you know? I figured something's gotta happen if we can manage that. Turn on the lights, huh? Okay, Junpei, let's make sure we know how this works, alright? Pick one of the 6 holes, then pick one of the pins and insert it into the hole. Keep it up until all 6 of the holes are filled. Once all the holes are filled, the light with the numbers that correspond to the digital roots of the pins in the upper and lower parts will turn on. However, if a digital root corresponds to a light that's already on, the light will be turned off. The goal is to turn all of the lights on. Alright, let's do it. You know what, I'm going to stop here, and we'll pick this up soon enough. Alright, take care, and I'll see y'all later.